Australia's biggest meat processor, JBS, has announced its 3 feedlots, Prime City, Riverina and Caroona, from the 1st of September, will only accept cattle pre-vaccinated with Bovilis MH+IBR. With me now is Scott Carswell, Northern Livestock Manager with JBS. So Scott, first of all, tell me a little bit about what you do.
G'day Prue. I manage 30 buyers that are based throughout Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria in our everyday buying of slaughter and feeder cattle into our abattoirs and feedlots.
And when you're looking for cattle, what are you looking for?
For our feeder cattle, it's one is breed type, 2 is weight parameters, and 3, and the most important part is their health, their background before they come to us, whether they're healthy, what vaccinations they've had, help us determine what we need to do at the feedlot when they come.
So cattle health is really important to you?
Yes, it is, Prue. Like, animal welfare for us is key. Our feedlot teams are focused on ensuring that the cattle in our care receive the best care. It's a big cost in the Australian feedlot industry, and the big one being BRD.
And what is BRD? What does BRD do to the animal?
Bovine respiratory disease is the biggest disease in our feedlots. Pre-vaccinating on a farm is critical as it sets the animal up for its first few weeks in the feedlot. The risk of BRD is at its peak in the first couple of weeks at the feedlot. The critical point of prevention happens on farm prior to feedlot induction. So from the 1st of September, we're making it mandatory for all cattle that come to Caroona, Prime City and Riverina to have 1 shot of Bovilis MH+IBR 6 months to 14 days prior to delivery. And we pay a premium for that as well, of $15 per head.
Why is pre-vaccination with Bovilis MH+IBR so important to you?
Bovilis MH+IBR reduces mortality in our yards and reduces the use of antibiotics in our yards as well. It's the final piece of the puzzle our producers are proud of what they present to us, how they breed their cattle, genetics, their properties. We as a processor are proud of what product we present to our customers. Bovilis MH+IBR is easily the gold standard when it comes to BRD prevention. It's the only vaccine available that helps protect against both MH and IBR in one vaccine.
So why is JBS implementing mandatory pre-vaccination?
We want it to be mandatory because it's the last piece of the puzzle for cattle coming into a feedlot. As an industry, we all have a responsibility to strive for the highest animal welfare standards. We need to use all the tools we can to ensure that the health and welfare of animals is maximised. It's critical when the cattle arrive at the feedlot, they are in the best health condition possible, and pre-vaccinating ensures that they are ready for the first few days in the feedlot where the greatest risk of this disease occurs. Managing treatments and mortalities from BRD have a significant impact on our business, and to optimise this, the performance of a business, we need to do everything we can to reduce its occurrence. Reducing the incidence of BRD helps JBS reduce the need for antibiotic use in the feedlots. It takes out sickness and cattle perform throughout the whole of the program, not just for part of it, which is, nowadays we want maximum performance.
So some producers perhaps don't pre-vaccinate because they see it as a feedlot issue, but you feel that there is a win-win situation here, don't you, for the producers and for JBS?
Yes, for sure, Prue. We've had producers come to us and say that the benefits they see from doing a MH+IBR program on farm is they've seen the benefits themselves with sickness and weight gain. So we believe it's win-win. If they do it and see a win at home and they're presented to us in the best health they can, it's a win on both sides.
And the time is right for doing this because of good cattle prices?
With cattle at record high prices, this is the perfect time to implement a mandatory pre-vaccination program. It's a small investment into a high value asset that will ensure the animal reaches its maximum performance through our programs. JBS has strong relationships with our producers. We believe that the pre-vaccination approach will be supported by our vendors really well.
And where can farmers get the Bovilis MH+IBR?
Prue, it's available at all leading rural suppliers or your animal health suppliers. And if you have any issues after that getting access to Bovilis MH+IBR, contact your local Cooper's Animal Health rep or even your local JBS cattle buyer and they'll steer you in the right direction.
Scott, what would you like to say to producers in terms of getting them on board?
And we're just asking producers to come along with us and complete the journey. Let cattle have the best outcome for both them and us.